Hey guys, this is Wes, JConcepts. Today we're going to cover some of the new optional parts for the Mugen MSB1 2-wheel drive buggy from Mugen Seiki, as well as we're going to take a look at some of the new tire selections as well as aerodynamics that are available from JConcepts. So let's get started. Alright, first thing we're going to take a look at is the new Mugen Seiki optional parts for the MSB1 2-wheel drive buggy. That's going to work great for your outdoor dirt applications, as well as for indoor play as well. First thing you see here is a new short chassis. It is -4 millimeters in length compared to the standard chassis that comes in the kit. This would be preferred for clay tracks or either tight indoor tracks, or you can use it to produce more traction by shifting that weight balance more to the rear for low grip outdoor dirt applications. I've done a lot of testing with this chassis on low grip, and I really like it so far. It was a really 9-day difference over the kit chassis. Alright, next thing we're going to talk about from Mugen Seiki is the new 68 millimeter CVA Bones. These essentially allow you to get more droop. As you can see, this buggy has a ton of droop in it. With outdoor dirt racing, especially with these mid-motor buggies, what I've found is the more droop you run, typically the more traction you have because it allows more weight transfer of the buggy. So the more that you can get this chassis moving, whether side to side, front to back, it's just going to allow you to keep the tires on the dirt and maintain control of the buggy and make it a little bit easier to drive. So this is a really great option part though from Mugen. It was immediate noticeable difference. In addition to being able to run more droop, it also allows you to use different hinge pin locations, and you can actually adjust how far in and out you want the CVA bone to plunge into the CVA. So it just allows you to use the full adjustability available to this 2-wheel drive buggy platform. Another option part, not necessarily new, but one thing I wanted to cover is the wide shock towers from MSC Europe. And basically these spread out the holes of locations on the shock towers, which allow you to stand up the shocks more, which can be very beneficial for low grip applications, especially with these mid-motor buggies, because the center of gravity is so low on them. So inherently they don't want to, the chassis doesn't want to transfer that weight and roll a lot in the corners, which you don't want if you're trying to produce traction on low grip. So these shock towers, they spread out the shocks, and it gives you more mounting options available at wider locations, so you can get that buggy really rolling a lot in the corners and maximizing that weight on the outside tire, so you can produce the most amount of mechanical traction. So the next thing we're going to talk about is some of the new optional upgrades from JConcepts. The first thing that just came out is this is the 7-inch monster wing that was just released, and it comes with the center divider included, and this is a really thick, durable Lexan material, which I'm a big fan of. If you're outside, usually bigger jumps, and it's nice to have a little more durability, I think, in the wing. So so this wing is pretty cool because it has, as you can see, scoops in the front and in the side, where the angle of the wing plane kind of dives down, and I think it helps kind of scoop that air, as well as the wing wicker is adjustable. I actually have it at the low setting right now. It's just what I like, but you could leave it flush at the top if you're really hurting for traction. So if you do have bigger jumps though, or if it's a higher speed track, you might want to consider trimming that down a little bit, just because it's going to make the buggy more compliant over the jumps. It'll keep that front end down, and that way you can land on power as you're landing. The next thing I want to talk about is some of the new tire options available from JConcepts. First one is, and this is a re-release, the Groovy 3-row tire. As you can see, this is a front runner rib style tire, and it comes with open cell foam. It's in a green compound, which is great. It's perfect for lower traction dirt. In contrast to that, this is already a front runner rib style tire that was from JConcepts. This has been out for a while. These are rips. As you can see, they're very similar to the Groovies, except in this case they have a 4-row rib design. So when would you want to run one or the other? In my experience, so if the track's wet and tacky at night with a little bit of loam on top, you might want to run the 4-row rib tire. If the track is very loose, sandy, you know, very loamy with no, it's a pretty soft surface, in that case you might see a benefit with a little more traction with this 3-row tire. So usually the rule of thumb is if the 4-row is clogging up, switch to the 3-row. So both of these tires, they come with open cell foams and they're in a super soft green compound, which is perfect. In addition to that, JConcepts also has the 2wd in a green compound, as you can see. I like these tires as well. These are actually, I prefer these when the track was actually a little bit dried out, because these low profile pins can get clogged up with loamy dirt. If that happens, you'll probably switch to a rip initially. These tires do come with a closed cell foam, so these are actually really great on outdoor tracks with more of a hard pack surface and a clean racing line. These pin tires are going to give you more steering over a rib style tire. So I am a big fan of that. What I do with these foams personally, I like to modify them slightly. I just put one hole in each rib all the way around in the closed cell foam before I mount them up. And you know, I also will run them on a foam breaker just for about 15 seconds just to seat the foam into the wheel and tire, as well as flatten out, you know, the foam so it has a more even surface, so I can maximize traction on the track. So if you wanted, you could put close or open cell foams in these as well. However, you're going to have to trim them down to fit, so something to consider. This is a great tire, and it really just depends on the conditions of the track to decide if you want to run what type of front runner you want to run. Ultimately, you just want to increase the maximum steering output of your buggy, and it really just depends on if they're clogging up with dirt or not. So if they're not clogging up with dirt, then you'll slowly move up to the pin tire. If they start clogging up, you'll move down to the 4-rib and then to the 3-rib, as we said. So on to the next thing. Next thing we're going to do is talk about rear tires, new ones from JConcepts. So this is a new tire, actually an all new design that really I think pays homage to the vintage style tire designs. This is from JConcepts in a green compound with an open cell foam. It is called a paddle pin, which is really cool because it has kind of that stepped pin design with a more flat paddle all the way through the center section of the tire, which I think is beneficial, especially when these things are kind of ballooning up and you're under hard acceleration. It's really going to want to dig into that track. So usually if you're going to run a tire like this, I'd probably recommend running a lot of anti-squat. That way you can try to really pound those tires into the dirt surface and get them into the track. So when would you want to run these? Really when the track's really loamy and other tire options you've tried just cannot, they keep getting clogged up and you can't keep them cleaned out. So these would be really good probably on more of a green track, I would say, outdoor dirt track. So definitely a good tire to have in the arsenal. You never know when you're going to need them. So the next step down from that would be JConcepts flip outs, also in a green compound. Difference is with these flip outs, they also come with a open cell foam. However, as you can see with the tire profile, it is more of a smaller pin, lower profile type design. It does have alternating bars down the middle. There's 4 rows of alternating bars with spike pins, kind of like an IFMAR pin, you know, from back in the day. These are definitely my favorite tire outside, I would have to say. You know, they work good all the time. So definitely recommend checking these out. So they work when the track is in between like a 2wd and a paddle pin. So where it has kind of a cleaner line with definitely some roost and loam outside of the line. So they also work good in dusty, dry conditions as well, if it's slick out there. So you could also try that as well. The next tire we're going to take a look at from JConcepts is a green compound, so super soft, and this is a 2wd. So the difference is with these 2wds, they come with a closed cell foam. So when would you want to run these? I would say when the track is hard packed, has a lot of moisture in it with a very clean line. And as I said before, you know, these small pin tires can get clogged up with loam and like roost. So the track surface has to be definitely packed in well without a lot of dust and without a lot of loam on the surface. So I do prefer these tires though in those type of conditions. Also when the track's screwed up and dry, I really like these. These are probably my favorite tires. So with the closed cell foams on these, my preference, and I know not everybody does this, my preference with these actually is to punch 2 holes in each rib and then do a pretty large V-cut down the middle. And it just kind of helps get that tire profile nice and flat, as you can see. So I also run them on a foam breaker for, you know, anywhere from 15 30 seconds. It's kind of, you have to feel it, you know, do it 10 or 15 seconds and stop, feel the foam, see what it feels like. And the idea is you want to get it to where it's really consistent feel all the way around, especially after you V-cut and put holes in it. So overall though, great tire. Definitely recommend to have this one in your arsenal as well. One thing to consider is you can actually put open cell foams in these. If you're in between, like let's say a flip out and a double D, and you want something in between, you could put an open cell foam in them instead of the included closed cell foam. So something to consider. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video today, and if you like it, smash the like button and subscribe, and yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.